Bloody
We'll see.
Joe breaks the stream, and we're back here again, boys and girls. Maltesing, you get a prize. You know what the prize is, Maltesing? Your prize is you're going to get a shout out, and hopefully, what we can do is we might pass your name on to Aiden, and hopefully he can write a song with your name in there. How's that?
We'll see. We'll see how
this
it
is
goes.
just off the cuff. I haven't run this past him, so it might not work, but Maltesing, hopefully a song. There you go. There's your prize. There's your prize, Maltesing. No, because we're politely waiting for the big boys. Oh, cheers, Jack.
Hopefully we can get all the viewers back, because we did have like 80 people on, and then we had to restart. So we'll see.
Don't say that. You're gonna make me feel bad, Big J. Stop it. You're gonna make me feel even worse than before. Velo, yay, they are back. Thank you. Yes, Velo, thank you. Roll call. All right, who else? Who was in? Who was in before that? I'm gonna have to take their name. Take their name down. There you go. Jen's back. Very nice. Very good to see. Hold Your Ghost. Yep, Hold Your Ghost was here before. Very nice. Jack Saunders was here before. Very good. Shannon was here before. Very good. Who else was here before? Yes, that's very good to see. Jackie. Firstly, Joey, I wasn't talking about Gorn. I was talking about the landscape mode. I'm with you, brother. I have English and Martial as well. Let's do it, Jackie. Let's do it all the way. We're going to fade Gorn to oblivion. Let's do it, mate.
I think I might have to get Martial in next week, or English. We'll see how much money I've got left. Could be a tricky one, I think.
Yeah. Yes, it was you, Jack. Well done. Yes, it was you. We sucked shit. All right. Well done. Your boys were very good. He's just in the warm-up. He's already on 100.
Done. Got him kicking in front of goals. That's it. Yeah.
Nemo, is this your first time commenting, Nemo? I haven't seen you before. Welcome aboard, mate. He's already taken the P155. I love it. Roland, anytime, buddy. Anytime. Paul, what song should Joe sing? Yeah, let me know. I don't really have great range. Very limited. Yeah. Give me a suggestion, and I'll look into it, and I'll sing you a song next week, Maltesing, on Monday. So come over on Monday, and I'll try and serenade one for you. I don't have the best singing voice, but I'll try. Unbranded, how's it going, mate? Shaz, how's it going? James Mulry, he's asking the very first SuperCoach question of the night. Congratulations, James. We've been on for 27 minutes. Yes, there's been a bit of I suppose intermission, but after 27 minutes, we've got our first SuperCoach question. I love banter, honestly. Mass and Jordan, so Clohisi and Martin.
Yep.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah. I'd be okay with that at the moment. I said yesterday in the video that I think Martin's going to end up being a keeper in his position. I mean, we know why we picked him. He's copying a bit of flack at the moment for being, I think, the worst defender in terms of disposal efficiency, which is pretty funny. So potentially there's a way for him to actually get more points, which would be cool. But yeah, I think he ends up being a must-have, especially with the DPP. When you are off air, Joe, I was saying to a lot of the people, hey, like the DPP is coming in at a really interesting time, because a lot of us don't have, like, I'm going to be okay, but a lot of people don't have good defenses at the moment. And it could end up just meaning, hey, look, you have Closey at D6. Yeah. A lot of people are going to get caught out by not having best 18 in a couple of weeks, I think.
Yeah, but the good thing about Clay's is that he's already had the bye. So that's already one out the way. And then he could get DPP himself in a couple of weeks if he plays the next two. So, James, I'm not against it, especially if Mass, again, gives us another 60-odd score, then he could be close to maxed out at that point, and he'd need a gargantuan effort in order to re-kickstart that cash gen. So I think Martin is almost a lock for top 6. I think he's going to keep that role. And I think he's going to be top 6. So you're trading out 2 mid prices for a great cash cow and a top 6. I reckon, James, you got my tick of approval, mate.
I like it. I'm going to head off. I will see you guys back in 10 minutes. All right, bye.
We're taking turns, mate. We're taking turns here, Big J. Love it. All right. Oh, wait, hold your ghost. What are you doing, brother? You didn't have to do that, mate. Thank you so much, mate. Again, we always are blown away by you guys' generosity and your guys' willingness to come on and spend the time with us, mate. I freaking love the streams with you guys and girls. Honestly, I hope you guys are really enjoying the content. Really do hope so. I find it really interesting how Big J is gone and we're just left with a very serious Big J face. You will keep him here just so that we can feel like he's still among us, which is pretty good. All right, let's scrub. I've missed some things. Only doing 2 trades. I agree, West Coast Eagles rule. I'm also only doing the 2 trades this week. I think the boosts really need to be kept for those big top dogs, the Petrarcas, the Merits. We can't afford them doing 1 down, 1 up. So I think we're going to have to save those boosts for those boys. Lukey was saying I'll pick up Gorn after his buy if he can just calm it down. He's not going to calm it down, Lukey. He's not going to calm it down. It's going 200 tonight. You ask Nemo, he's already on 100, mate. He's already on 100. This is ridiculous. Squeak. How's it going, Squeak? Hey, legends, love this crazy banter. Honestly, if you want anything from this channel, it's going to be nothing but banter. And you boys are going to be laughing in my face potentially after tonight with not having Maxi Gorn. I might even do a little short live stream, depending on how it goes. If Gorn goes around 200, I'll go live for a little bit so that you guys can laugh at me and hopefully get that out of your system. And if he doesn't, then I'm going to laugh at you guys. So there we go. That's what's going to happen later tonight if you're still around. Stephen, how's it going? Joe, round 15 buy, no rucks. I think that would suck, yes, having both Marshall and English as my 2 rucks. But I think given that it's going to be a best 18 and we're going to have more premiums by that point, I don't think it's as serious as right now where we still haven't quite hit upgrade season. I think come by round 15, we'll definitely have more premiums at that point. I am not ever going to sing that song. Never. All right? Unless it's a parody where I'm making fun of it. That's the only way I'm going to do that, Velo. Jack, in all seriousness, the reason I faded Gorn is the age and injury risk for such a big, older guy. I feel he misses 2 to 3 weeks at some stage, and we get all the points back, and then the double buy hurts. Agreed, Jack. I like it. You voiced my opinion perfectly. Big Fendoff, bro. I can't even imagine what happens when what happens when a Dusty and a Reed collide. Is it like an unstoppable force versus an immovable object? That would be pretty funny. What was your question, Velo? I missed your question because I can't see it. I don't know what. Ask the question again, man. I don't want to miss it. Good thing is we get medium Joe only. Nah, bro. It's not good. It's not good. There's only so much of me you can take. Believe me. You need the yin to the yang. You need the steady head to this loose unit. Doing 3 this week. All right. Yeah. If you've got the boosts, that's what they're there for, Jackie. West Coast Eagles outs Grundy and Jordan. Jackson to R2 for 1 week. Yeah, that's fine. Ins, Martin, and Condom. Marshall in neck. Yeah. That sounds good. Marshall's got a 120 break even, so it's not like he's going to go flying out of reach. So you can afford to get him next week. Fair options rule. I like it. I'm keen to see Colton Tholstrup tonight. Yes, Ghost. Correct. That will be really fun. Hopefully he kills it tonight and gives us another option to trade in. 100%, bro. Legend. Game hasn't even started, and it's already good. Bro, the week hadn't even started and I was stressing about it. That's how much my knickers are in a knot about this one. Believe me, I'm coming into this eyes wide open. maybe I'm just a bit of a masochist. What can I say? By that stage, we'll have Jackson. Sure. Hectic Lever, how are you, Habibi? I'm doing all right, bro. Apart from my anxiety over Gorn, I'm doing fine. Are you prepared for Essendon to get smashed this week? Is it all right if I use a boost this week to get rid of Dawson? I think Dawson. What is Dawson's break even again? I completely forget. You know what? Let's do a bit of share screen. I'm sort of sick of having my face be on here so big, so much. I'm very self-conscious. Let's open this up again, and we're going to look at Jordan Dawson. Jordan Dawson has a break even of 151, and he's up against Carlton. Now, pretty sure last time he played Carlton, he went absolutely bananas. Yeah, he went a 152 against Carlton last year. But of course, this isn't the same Dawson that we have seen from last year. It's obviously a very different Dawson. So, do you trade him out? Look, I think not. At this point, you've already lost about 100K. There's really not much benefit to getting him in, especially if you've got someone like a Nick Martin already in your team. If you've got a Steele in your team already, then there's really no one at that price point that you're looking to trade in at this point. And to be honest, there's going to be a bunch of people looking to trade Dawson in pretty soon. You don't really want to be the one that's trading him out, I think, at this point. So his issue is his ball use has been bad, but surely that turns around. You can't turn from a good kick to a shit kick overnight. It just doesn't happen like that, mate. It just doesn't happen. And yes, I am very prepared for an Essendon to get smashed. So that's why I'm not actually going to watch the game. I'm going to be recording an episode of Fancast tomorrow and then checking the scores intermittently. Gorn will put 200 on Sherry in round 15. I hope not, Velo. I really hope not. O'Sullivan debut, another good timing if we need him on the bubble during upgrade season. Very true, Kai Broom. Very, very true. Well done. Yes, for the Cats would be amazing. Very impressive young man, full of leadership. He seems ready to go. He can play a number of different roles wherever he's required. I really rate O'Sullivan for sure. Massive. Well done. If you guys haven't subbed to Kai Broom, head on over and sub to Kai Broom as well, please. Vela, I'm thinking of 2 possible trades this week. Vela, I'd also really appreciate it if you change your freaking thumbnail, your bloody profile picture. I don't know if we're going to get demonetized if I keep showing your picture like this. Come on, bro. Come on, don't do this to us, man. I'm thinking of 2 possible trades this week. Either Weir or Carroll out for Martin or Jackson to forward. And Powell out for Marshall. If I go Martin, that will have Holmes at M7 this week. Thoughts? Look, I think Carroll is still definitely too early. His break-even is still only 1. Yeah, Carroll. So he's still got a bit of money to be made, you would imagine. And our good friend Shaq, good friend of the channel, he's a Carlton man this year. I say this year, it's because he goes wherever the money leads him. Whoever he's put money on is the team he barracks for in that given year. And he reckons that Jack Carroll's job security is still fine. So I wouldn't be trading out Jack Carroll. If he goes 60, he's got another 27K in him, which is pretty good. And how has he gone in previous weeks? You can expect another 60 score out of him. Maybe Adelaide continue to be shit and he might give us a slightly higher score. But regardless, if you look at his projection, if he goes 60s and 50s, yeah, you don't want 50s. If he starts giving you 50s, then he's going to dry up that cash really quickly. He really is going to dry up really quickly. So, yeah, maybe give him another week. He'll make you money. Meanwhile, Jacob Weir, I think his job security is rock solid as well. He's still got a negative 20 break even, mate. So, again, not someone that I'm looking to trade out this particular week. Both a negative 20 and a 1 break even. You want to make money, baby. You want to make money. No honey. Was it? No money, no honey. That's how it was. So I wouldn't trade either of those guys out. Because if you're thinking about it, trading out those guys, what's stopping you from trading out a Sanders or stopping you from trading out a McKercher? People with a bit more money on them, I think there's still decent money. And if you start skimping out on each of these players, if you skimp out on an extra 30,000 from Carroll, and you start skimping out on an extra 20,000 from Weir, and you skip out on another 20,000 somewhere else, you've essentially now lost around $80,000 worth of cash generation. And in the long run, it can hurt you, especially if you're burning through trades. Money allows you, cash is king. I'm sure you've heard of that. Can LDU turn things around? Asks Jimmy. Currently have him. Should I trade? Jimmy, if you have Gorn, put the VC on Gorn, obviously. But if you have LDU, which I think you do, slap the captaincy on him. I reckon this is the bounce back week that LDU is going to give you. Now, you might thinking, this guy's an absolute moron. He doesn't have Max Gorn. Why is he telling me to back in LDU? Because I have this feeling. I have this feeling inside my bones, Jimmy. And I think this is the week that LDU pops off. Because, now say why. Why do we think so? Geelong are not the best at restricting mids when it comes to the scoring. And when we go and we look at Luke Davies Zuniak, if we look at LDU or UDL, however you like to say him, yes, he's been bad, right? He's lost 70,000. But despite being bad, he's still averaging 95 for the year. Right? Imagine when he turns that around. Now, I think this is the week he turns it around. Why do I think so? Because he likes to play Geelong at Geelong. He likes to do it. The last 2 times he's played Geelong in Geelong, he's gone a 124 and a 134. Okay? And I think that this is the week where LDU turns it around. There's no reason why he shouldn't be scoring better. There really isn't. Is it the point sharing with your pals and your Wardlaw? Potentially. But this guy is too good to be passing through each of these games with 20-odd disposals. It's too sharp a drop, and North Melbourne are suffering as a result. So I think this is the week. Clarko comes up to him, looks him in the eye, and he says, Luke, time to lift, son. It's time to lift. This is it. Back him in. If he pops off this week, you're welcome. If he fails, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I promise. But I reckon this is the week he pops back off. Believe me this. Jonas, if only Dusty could fend off the white powder. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, Jonas. Are we sure it's only Dusty that does that? Oh, he's back. He's back.
I'm back. Yep, I'm here. Nice to be here, fellas.
Yes, it is. Very nice to have you back. Wilson to Combin, Grundy to English, have Gorn and Jackson in ruck this week. Sure.
Nice.
Very nice. I think we did the same trades, Joe. Sexton to Klahisi and Grundy to Marshall. I've actually haven't traded out Sexton yet. Hold your ghost. My trades ended up being, if I just scroll up, I'm getting rid of Howes because I think Howes is close to max. He's made me 100K, and that to me, I think is perfectly fine with the 40 trades. So he's made me the 100. He's got the buy next week, and his break even is around about his average. So for me, I think Howes is fine to go, and then Grundy to Marshall. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I just think Sexton to Combin is a lot easier. It's going to be really easy to do. So I think I'm holding Sexton for now, and I get him up to a Combin next week, and then someone else is going to get downgraded to Graham. Who is it going to be? It depends who shits the bed this week and who doesn't score really well. It could be a Wilson. If he doesn't bounce back this week, I think Wilson, I mean, what's his break even? How much money does he still have to make? It's only 56.
Wilson will be okay. You can keep
Wilson
he'll
be okay.
For a bit longer. Yeah.
But if Carroll is sub, for example, if Carroll is the sub with Walsh coming back, that could really hurt his cash generation moving forward. Because we can see if he's going 50s and 40s, he's going to max out at 273, and he's already at 230. So we'll get the price rise out of him this week, but if he scores pretty bad, then he might be the one that has to go and free me up a lot of cash to get Graham. So that's what I've done. Hold your ghost. Frank, how's it going, Frankie? Thoughts on Grundy, Jordan, and Massimo out for Martin, Flanders, and Klahisi? Ooh. Bro, you're getting in a top 6 defender, you're getting a top 6 forward, and a super cash cow for 2 mid prices, one who's close to maxed out and one on the buy, and Grundy, who's averaging us 94. I like those trades, Frank.
Yep. Me too, Frankie.
Jack, mate, how can you be self-conscious? You got the best smile in SuperCoach. You're a funny man, Jack. I love you. It's your eyes, bro. I don't know what filter you've got on those eyes, but I like them. Hippo, how's it going, Hippo, mate? What carnage could there be with these teams tonight? You know what the carnage would be? If one of Klahisi and Combiner dropped this week.
Yep.
That would be crazy. Birdman, need a running tally of how many points Joe loses not having gone. Yes. I'm glad you're having a lot of fun, Birdman. I'm really glad you're having so much fun at my expense. Why do I subject myself to this? Is Colton Tholstrup the best name in the AFL? Bro, it sounds like some cough drop medicine, bro. How is that the best name in SuperCoach, in AFL? I don't think so, bro. Phoenix Spicer was pretty good. Steely Green was pretty good. Massimo D'Ambrosio is pretty good. Dante Visentini, bro, that just screams some mafia boss dude, I feel. I wouldn't go Colston Tholstrup.
Yeah.
You know who else has a great name, Big J?
Who's that, Joe?
Mikelti Lefau. Lefau has a sick name, my boys. I wouldn't go Colton Tholstrup. Nothing against him, but Mikelti Lefau. Come on, that's a sick name.
Yeah.
I love me Mikelti.
There's a few names like that, which I think are pretty cool.
Jamon, is there a worry with McKercher moving into the middle last week? Is there a worry, Big J?
I have a feeling he might not be the keeper long term that we thought he was going to be. But in terms of like initial scoring at the moment, I think we'll be okay. Yeah.
Yep, fair enough. Jimmy's asking, what do you reckon, McGovern or Whitfield?
You know what? If I had to choose one of the two, I would probably say Whitfield. I 100% reckon. Sorry, actually, I'm going to rephrase. I would say McGovern.
Oh.
I was watching him yesterday, watching him last week, and Whitfield just gives me headaches already. I've owned this guy for a week, and he's already been, somewhat subbed off for a while. So I think Whitfield's the safer bet, but you'll get less headaches from McGovern, if that makes sense.
Look at the last 3 games he's played against Richmond, Jeremy McGovern.
Yeah.
I think I've got a headache already. And I don't even own him. Look, McGovern's good. McGovern's a good player. He's obviously a gun. His problem has always been his durability. But he and Elliot Yeo have both gone to Qatar, and they have now magically replaced their hammies and calves with jelly. I don't know, something that doesn't tear. So he might be one that could be good for the whole year. But I just think Lockie Whitfield is going to go bananas this week. And I think Lockie Whitfield is more likely to be top 6. And I think this guy scored an 87 whilst essentially sitting out a quarter because he was having double vision. So for me, I like Whitfield more than McGovern. They're both great, and they both obviously have their asterisks on them, considering their history. McGovern's been more soft tissue. Lockie Whitfield's been more incidental contacts. And for that, I think you're more likely to see better longevity out of a Lockie Whitfield. The Whitfield of old probably would have been subbed out after that hit. But he got back on and he smashed it on the way back. He scored over 50 points in the second half. So
That was great. That last quarter was pretty exciting.
Bro, he was running non-stop. He seagulled it up all of the cheapies. And I love me a defender that gets all the cheapies, mate. I love a cheapie defender. It's pretty good. Jonas, I'm probably bringing in Dawson next week. There you go. Exactly. Dawson's on people's upgrades.
Either this week or last week. Joe, so I'm not sure if you've been around the bush and had a look, but seems like one big Sean Darcy will not be playing this week.
Ooh.
Yeah. Hearing some news out of Footy Rhino, who does a lot of the Freo talk. Sean Darcy is not playing. So if all these people who still have Luke Jackson on field or have Luke Jackson ready to go, Sean Darcy is not playing.
Where is he? We're looking at Ryan Daniels, the Footy Rhino. You can trust him with your life. For all things coming out of WA, Sean Darcy has come up just short for this week.
I knew it was going to happen. The guy's getting rested. The guy's not getting managed. They're not going to do it. There's no pressure to play him. Sean Darcy is still playing. So all you guys getting rid of getting rid of Luke Jackson already, put him back in your teams, boys. You've still got time.
Don't trade him out, boys and girls. He's going to play. He's not playing this week.
Trade him out. Yeah.
He's not even playing for Peel this weekend. You know what I mean? What happens if he has to start playing against Peel next weekend? For Peel. So he could be out for another 2 weeks still, Sean Darcy. And what is Freo's run? Do I have any Fremantle players? Of course. Jezza Sharp, my boy. Oh, also Caleb Sarong. Sorry, Sarong. I forgot about you. When does he play the Eagles? Next week he plays the Eagles. He's playing the Eagles next week.
Yeah. So you'd hope that Sean Darcy comes back for the run next week, but you got another week out of Jackson. So bit of a good news for the people watching the stream at the moment.
For you guys, let's see. Is there a Braveheart hold? I'm not going to play the 10-hour version. That's just ridiculous. But hold is the moral of the story. Don't hold him. Do not trade out Jackson this week. Yeah. Whatever you do. Oh, mate, that's incredible. All right, what was I saying? Nathaniel, don't do this to me, please. I beseech thee.
There's no reason to do it.
Exactly. Why would he be? I know this guy is a bit of a flog, but he wouldn't really drop him, would he? No. Jack Gorn score start with 220. He's going to end up sub at quarter time. Oh, man. Bro, if that was to happen, Jack, I'm going live. 100% I'm going live, and I'm laughing it up, but it's not going to happen. You can only dream, Jack. You can only dream. Shaq Harvey reliable.
I think teams are out, Joe.
Let's go to matches. We'll go to teams. Let's have a look. Oh, wait, sorry. Yeah. Legend. Option 1 is trade LDU, Mass, and Grundy to English. Don't trade out LDU this week. Legend is bouncing back. Legend, LDU is bouncing back this week. Take it to the bank. If it doesn't, you can take me to jail. Grundy, English, Steel, and Klahisi. Option 2. All your options involve LDU, do they? And all of it involves getting Steel in. And Martin. And Klahisi. Yep. Look, if you had to pick one, then you'd lean towards option 1. But I wouldn't be trading out LDU. He's going to come good. All right. So Colton Thelstrop, big in. Cozzy Pickett, biggest thug in the AFL. Honestly, I severely dislike him. Lockie Neal. Please, Lockie Neal, shark all of Gorn's hitouts for your milestone game. Please, Lockie Neal, shark all of them. All of us still playing.
Go through the rest. Yeah, it's fine. Let's do it, Joe. We've already
Where are
seen
they?
this one. They should
Where
be
are
there.
they? I pressed the teams. That was the only thing that popped up.
Why it's not the teams?
It's not. The teams aren't yet. I think another minute or so for the teams to come out, bro.
Nah.
Velo, how is it profile? Yeah, that's definitely better than showing me.
Okay. So they've done it. They haven't updated it here, but if you go to the main page, so go to AFL button up the top on the left,
Hmm.
and then there's a news article there. Then you can. It's got all the updates in there. So they haven't actually made the team. Someone's fading, and they haven't made the infographics, so they can't put it up yet. So scroll down. Yeah. So there's tomorrow's game.
Yep. So Caleb Daniels been dropped. Someone needs to call Caleb Daniels manager.
Yep.
Plain and simple. Alwyn Davies in for Perkins, okay, and Durham is in for Setterfield. We're screwed this week. Oh my god, let's just stop talking about this game. All right, then we go to the Giants. No changes at the Giants. Meanwhile, Windhager's back, and Garcia is in. Oh, that's a good one for us, Garcia. He's going to debut for the Saints, Jack. Yes, we can see it. Very awesome. Hasty's been dropped. He can't really expect too much when he was the sub last week. And then Jones has been dropped. All right. Zach Jones could be done for his career potentially.
Yeah. Apparently Velo reckons that teams are out. So if you go up to teams, they should be in.
Yes, I like seeing it in the infographic. I like this graphic better. There we go. Let's just quickly skip past this. But first, Nick Martin, halfback. There you go. All right. So we skip over Garcia, another rookie. Please, Ross the boss, give us another one. But keep him in the team though. Don't do a Hasty and then drop him. Please let him play.
Hasty was the sub, wasn't he? Was Hasty the sub last year?
Yeah.
So they played the kid as a sub, probably minimal minutes. See you later. Like, yep, that's your AFL career. Sorry, mate. Hopefully he's not dropped forever.
Yeah, but as Velo says, it's probably his Garcia will be the sub for this game. You would imagine.
Maybe.
Classic Ross Lyon. I think Ross. Everyone apart from Wilson that has been on debut this year, he's made them the sub. Disgusting. Sammy Walsh is in, ladies and gentlemen, for his 100th game. Congratulations to Sammy Walsh. Taken some time. The back has been very difficult. And for that reason, I'm not touching him at all this week or next week for that matter, probably.
Oh, for a while anyway. I mean, I think there's bigger targets where we know we're after our 650k mids in Merritt and Petrarca at the moment. So Sam Walsh can kind of, maybe he drops a bit of cash, that kind of thing. Or you don't even know if he's going to play 3 games at this point. Probably just means that Jack Carroll is not the sub, which is fantastic. I don't think he'll be sub. I think they'll keep playing him. If he's playing well, I think they'll find a spot for him. One player I am a little bit ticked about, Joe, is Sam Berry, who's still named in the Crows team. And at least he's not like pumped out at 120 last week and then we're forced to keep him. So I'll cop the loss if he doesn't do well. Some people in the chat are also talking about no Tom Campbell as well. So Marshall, like himself, to put him in, should do well.
Yeah.
Huh?
We'll get to that. But what's Berry's break even at this point?
Like 50.
Oh, he could struggle to get it.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, Parnell's injured. Burgess. Yeah, for all you Burgess owners, he's been dropped. So it is what it is. And then you're not going to look at any of those guys. Mark Keane named centre half back. So that's pretty good if you're looking to get Mark Keane. Too expensive for me. I'm not doing it. And Dawson in the middle of the ground. He was going to be okay. No changes for either team. And Dimmer Hardwick has got Flanders at half-back still. Let's go, boys.
Well, haven't you heard that they're going to try and tag him and take him out of the game, Joe? So we'll see kind of what happens with that. But yeah, no, very, very happy.
classic. If this son of a bitch, coach of the Hawks, tags Sam Flanders, honestly, is he not the biggest killjoy in the AFL if he does that?
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting.
Why are you tagging Sam Flanders, bro?
Interesting to see what happens. That's all I'm going to say. Max Ramsden looks to be playing, so it'll be Lloyd Meek, Ramsden, I think, is the forward people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Hustwaite, him on field. Good for him. Where's our boy Massimo? Where's Massimo D'Ambrosio? Am I blind? I'm freaking blind. Where am I looking? Where's Massimo? There is. Oh, back pocket for Mass this week. Has he always been there?
No, I think he's been other spots. So
we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. Ollie Wines and Pal Pepper is back from his suspension. Okay. Now then. Now.
Horn Francis is getting forward status, boys. It's going to happen.
Look, his name on the ball for now.
Yeah. He'll play like first rotation. He won't get off the field and he'll end up getting forward status. So, yeah, it's going to happen. I've called it now. I think it's going to happen. So, yeah. That's my feeling.
I think Horn Francis does not get forward status.
All right. Is that the bet?
Yes. What are we betting on?
I don't know. Horn Francis getting forward status or not getting forward
status? Shit. But I'm like, what are you betting? Like, what's your bet? Like, what are you offering me if I win or if you win? What's the bet?
6-pack.
6-pack? All right.
Yes.
We got a 6-pack on it, boys. I reckon Horn Francis does not get forward status for this one. All right. This upcoming one, I reckon Horn Francis does not get it. And you say he does.
Yep.
All right. We've got a bet, boys and girls. Meanwhile, Erasmus is in for Frederick. Not entirely sure how. Oh. As a Ports fan who knows our team back to front, Horn Francis is not getting. Come on, Jack. I want you to be right again.
We'll see, Jack. We'll see.
Melo wants to bet some socks on it. I love it.
I think that's too much for Joe. I think Joe eating the socks is not.
I want to eat them, bro. I don't want to give them away. That's not right for me. Would you want Horn Francis in your team if he's getting that much forward time and less mid time? Exactly, Jamon.
Well, the problem is, like, if he ends up still scoring 95, playing more forward, then it's all right. And he doesn't have to play, like, forward for the rest of the season. You only need him to play forward for the next 3 weeks. Play forward for the next 3 weeks. And then, cool, you got a midfielder in your forward line averaging like 100. So, yeah, I don't think his projected is probably that high at the moment. But if you look at it there, Joe, his projected 95, 96, 91, that's forward line keeper status at the moment. Which is a bit sad in case of our forward lines, but yeah.
Yes, that's if he gets forward status though. But this projected is based off his current role, which has him playing mostly midfield, and he's played against 2 shit teams. No offense, West Coast fans. All offense given to our team. We have been horrific, and the Eagles also give up a lot of points. So he hasn't played against anything meaningful at this stage of his career. And as Jackie Boy says here, our highest and second highest CBA in his 2 games. So,
and Dempsey's playing as well.
Excellent. All right. O'Sullivan. This is a Sunday. Okay, so this is extended list. It's not finished, not finalized. So Connor O'Sullivan might not actually play.
He's been announced. He's
been announced.
Yeah, but I mean, like he's fullback. He's fullback.
Oh, he's on the field. Yes. Yeah. Let's go. We got another one, boys. Another rookie in defense. Let's go. Sean Manor. For those who've held on to Sean Manor, congratulations. He's finally playing his. Is he though? Where is he?
On the bench.
No, not confirmed.
He could not play.
Not confirmed. Sellers, your boy. Where
Yeah.
is he?
Bench. I hope he plays. He needs to play. We need the forward player. But if you check out the half back line, which number 10 is currently in there. So yeah. We'll see what happens with Zach Fisher, who's now apparently a forward pocket. But yeah. And Charlie Comben, yeah, half. But I think Comben's always going to play there. So yeah. Can't take too much out of what we're seeing at the moment, I think.
Unfortunately, everyone's probably already traded out Zach Fisher now and been bailed out. So,
Of course.
But you would be very happy that Stevenson's been dropped. He is shit.
Yeah. I was hoping Paul Curtis might have a similar thing as well. But at the moment, I don't know if anyone can hear the fire alarm going.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
We've got someone doing some like smoke alarm testing at the moment. So
okay.
I can mute myself if it gets too loud.
I was looking at my door like, what the hell's going on? Turns out it was from you. Yeah, there you go. Hopefully McKercher keeps that half back roll, ladies and gentlemen. Can give us a nice, strong bounce back game. More scoring, more money. Come on, son. Do it. Toasted Big Chase. Someone's smoking. I love it. I love it, guys.
Jamon, Darcy's not playing, mate. He didn't make the trip. He's not good enough. So another week of Luke Jackson.
He's not good enough.
He's not good. Well, clearly he's not good enough if he's not playing. Sorry to say.
He's not healthy.
No, he's not. He's not ready to go.
The Freo Dockers are erring on the side of caution, mate.
Yeah, of course. They'll be erring on the side of caution. Even if he's back next week, he'll play one quarter and then get subbed because you know they're going to slap West Coast. So what's the point? They'll slap him. That's it. So yeah.
So where's Jai Clark? Jai Clark is on the extended interchange. Shannon Neal is playing as a key forward, as like a third tall. So I don't think he's a risk. Sean Manor playing as a small, and Connor O'Sullivan is likely to be playing in defense. None of these three are midfielders that should kick Jai Clark out. So if it's based on the ins, none of these ins should be kicking Jai Clark out of the team. If you guys own Jai Clark, I think you should be okay, considering the ins, because none of them are mids. So Jai Clark, I think, survives another week for you guys. Jai Clark, what's his break even at the moment? 186. Breaking of an 11. Yeah, so he'll make you some more money again this week. The question becomes next week. Who's coming back? Is Bose back next week? Is Atkins back? Is Guthrie back? Yeah. These are the questions. So, but for this week, I think Clark will play.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see Velo. See what happens with that.
Well,
as long as Dempsey's playing wing, which means he'll be able to run around. Dempsey's going to slap us. It's going to be great. Going back to Tyler Sellers, North Melbourne needs another key forward alongside Nick Larkey, and I think Sellers is the one to do it for us. So, yeah, if you look at our bench, hopefully it's Stevens, Wardlaw, Sellers, and maybe a Jackson Archer or a Blake Drury. It probably will end up being Liam Shields just because he's older, but I'm hoping it's one of those players.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh, look who it is, mate. You've got Damo, SuperCoach.
How you doing?
How's that going, brother? Hope you're doing well. Good to see peeps in here also in our stream. Bro, I'm telling you, whenever I pop into your stream, I do see a lot of familiar faces in there as well. So I guess that just goes to show that we have, honestly, some incredible viewers if they're watching both of our stuff. So yeah, we've got some special cookies, Edge, Damo. We've got some really special ones. In relation to the teams, again, considering your backline, now that you've added a Comben, he's got some height, he's got some intercepting ability. They might try and go for a tall forward line to sort of try and make it difficult for you potentially. So they might be rocking Jezza, Hawkins, and maybe even a Neil. Neil could potentially make it in if they're looking to play particularly tall. But if the conditions don't suit, then they probably won't do that.
I don't think they will with Neil. I think it's more like if they didn't have Blitzards and Stanley already, they might get Neil to come in and like second forward ruck. But that they could also find as well, they might just say, well, North Melbourne's going to get slapped. Let's play this guy, give him some more games experience in the forward line. Because Shannon Neal's not terrible. Like, there's definitely opportunity for him to actually get some of that game experience and kick a few goals this year from him.
So it seems to be a pretty warm night, about 17, 20 going into 17, and only about a 2% chance of rain. So probably unlikely that it's wet. So then they might try and push you. They might try and spread your back line thin, potentially. We'll see. Next game. Obviously, these aren't confirmed because it's a Sunday game. Gaff is in, okay, potentially. Where's Gaff? Is Gaff on the bench? Okay, Gaff is on the bench. Brockman's on the bench. And Witherden also on the bench. So nothing confirmed. And then obviously Jack Ross injuries, that's confirmed. Liam Baker, you'd imagine, is playing. You would imagine Liam Baker. If he's available, yeah, there you go. Liam Baker's on the field. Naismith? Damn it. Extended interchange. I got excited for a second. Hugo Ralph Smith is also here, and Banks is also here. Okay. So really, of these, it looks like it could just be Liam Baker in for Ross, potentially, is the only change. I got freaking excited when I saw Sam Naismith. I got sucked in like a rookie. Unbelievable. Terrible by me. I very sincerely apologize for that, boys. It's just our ADHD, boy, Joey. That's why I watched two at once. Mate, if you want to watch Damo, bro, it's SuperCoach Edge. Him and Liam, they do some incredible stuff. You do not need to explain to me whatsoever, Jack, if you're watching over there. You're spending good time. Josh, lads, is Grundy to Meek and Jordan to Steele? Nah, it's Steele, bro. It's Steele. If you're going to get in a premium, it's got to be Steele. And Grundy to Meek, bro, Meek just seems so scary to me, bro. He's a good player. He is a good ruck. But he plays for Sam Mitchell, who's a bloody terrorist when it comes to changing his team. He's like Bevo 2.0. He'll keep messing around with the magnets. And you never know if he has a couple, or if he has one or two bad games, which he might have this week. I mean, you look at who Hawks are playing, bro. He's up against Jared Witts. Like, Jared Witts is a very good ruckman. He's a really good. Like, it's a tough matchup this week. And if he doesn't back up how he performed last week, you never know. It's not like Reeves is injured, where you know he's guaranteed a certain amount of games, for example. So the competition makes it hard. If he continues to perform well, he has to average 90 plus to be worthwhile as a selection. If we go to look at Meek, again, he's been the talk of the town all week long, right? So if we go to Lloyd Meek and you look at his price, welcome back. When we look at Lloyd Meek's price, he's $357K. Okay. So he needs, if you go to then his projected. Now, if he goes 60s and 70s with the occasional 95, so 61 against Witts could be on the cards because Witts is tough to beat. Yeah. So we're not going to say that this sort of score is something that you're going to see from him every week. Just for this one particular week against a very strong ruckman and Witts, he might not score particularly well. And that then this poor score sits in his scoring cycle for the next 3 weeks. Okay.
Yep.
So then he goes up against Sherry. Tristan Sherry is no slouch this year. You know what I mean? Tristan Sherry, he plays physical rucking as well, and he does around the ground tackling and things like that. So Sherry also is a pretty tough matchup before then getting Grundy, who hasn't been dominant. But if he gives you 2 subpar scores, and for subpar, we're talking under 90. If he's going under 90, then he's not going to make you 100K. He's not going to make you 100K quick enough. He's scoring. Again, also, the scoring won't be great if he's giving you 2 subpar scores on top of that. So It's not talking about the long-term picture. It's literally only just for these next 2 weeks. He's got tough matchups. Nothing against him personally. It's just the state of what the fixture looks like. Plus, given his price, he needs to go like 90 plus in order to make you substantial cash.
Yeah.
If he was 100K cheaper, I'd be like, yeah, full send it. Because that's what Briggs was last year. Briggs was that cheaper one around the 200 mark. And that you can go and you can maybe even afford the risk. But for 357 and you're hoping that he makes you money, it's tough given the fixture.
I don't know if you've covered this already, Joe, but it's also the 2 trades that you're spending as well with Meek. So it's 1 trade to get out, 1 trade to get in, and being 100K plus each per trade, it's makes it a bit risky, right? Like you make 150K on the trades. Well, it's going to cost you 100K effectively to get him back into your team. So at the moment, you're trading out Loic Mead for 50K. And then you're spending a bit more for him to come back. So trading out Lloyd Meek is almost putting yourself in a deficit already. You're already down 100, like you're already down 50K. So yeah, just something to think about. He's not going to be a keeper as well. So, if Rowan Marshall or English or heck, even like a Grundy start pumping out some 100+ scores, you really need Meek to do pretty similar to be worth it from this point onwards.
Bro, he's gonna the point gap difference could increase you from the rest. And when you want to try and trade Meek out, you're going to try and trade him out to whoever you don't have. So if you already have Gorn, you're going to try and trade Meek to either English or Marshall. Yeah. None of those guys are going to go under 600K. So if he doesn't pop off and make you decent money, you're going to have to find the money that you free up from him now. You're going to have to sort of almost add that to him around close to it in order to try and get that upgrade up to one of the top boys. So
yeah,
I think whilst if it works, then it's incredible and I congratulate you. But if it doesn't work, it could be season over.
Mm-hmm.
That's how risky it is. Now if you're not first, you're last, right? So I can understand if you're really just going to risk it for the biscuit and not die wondering, then yeah, you can go for it. I'm not going to tell you don't do it. But for me, if I'm gonna, it's probably riskier than people realize. Is all I'm just trying to say.
Yeah, and I think as well, if you have a look at it, I would hate the fans of this show and the guys watching and everyone to be like, what do I do with Lloyd Meek in 2 weeks? Like, we could easily get these 3 or 4 weeks down the line. What am I doing? It's really tough. So I hope it doesn't happen for you guys watching. You can do the trade if you want, whatever, but I really hope that it doesn't end up biting you guys because we're going to hear about it, unfortunately.
Yep, of course. It's in the nature of the role, man. Now I'm told that we know who the subs are according to Velo. So we're looking at Taj Woden and James Tunstall. All right, there you go.
So we're not even getting a good rookie. Thanks, Brisbane. James Tunstall was supposed to be Max Gorn.
Why couldn't it be Max Gorn?
He's not kind of rookie.
Why couldn't Max Gorn be the sub? Give him a chance. Give him a chance. That's pretty funny. Aiden, would you rather go Tom Brown or Jeremy Sharp for cash gen?
For me, it would be Sharp. Sorry, it would be Tom Brown. Purely for the fact that he's only had 1 price rise and Sharp's had 2. And that's what's going to really start affecting him. Tom Brown, if he pops out another decent score, if you look at the projections, the guy's probably going to get to 350K around the time that you want to start to offload him. Sharp is already there, so you're losing some money out on getting Sharp in already, 50K from the Sharp to Brown. But then also, the second price rise really does make a big difference. So, yeah, I would go Brown at the moment, I think Sharp's a fantastic player. I think he's going to be, you're going to be able to play him all year. Not as a keeper the whole year, obviously, but Freo's going to play him all year. There's no sub risk or anything. But in terms of actually making money for us in SuperCoach, I think Brown at the moment can do a bit more.
Yeah, the only annoying thing is that he's got the bye next week.
Yes.
So he'll
Yeah.
play the one game this week. He'll make you his money, make you some money, and then he goes on the bye next week, which can be a little bit annoying. However, it could be offset by the fact that he's got the Eagles this week, and the Eagles love to concede points to defenders. So he could give you a very nice score on field this week to make up for the fact that he's not playing next week. I definitely agree with Tom Brown. If you had to pick between the two of them, I do think Tom Brown is the better one.
Yeah.
Geelong keep naming and changing rucks as usual. The merry-go-round continues. Yes, Paul Burgess has been dropped, unfortunately. For owners, Dempsey about to go 200. We pray to God that happens, legend, because it means he's making us a shit ton more money.
Yep.
Velo, Ralph Smith, and Banks won't play, and then it will be either Miller or Naismith. If Naismith,
yeah, if he plays, mate, I'm very, very happy.
You got to get him in. If Naismith plays, that means that he's one game closer to being on the bubble, and that would be incredible. That would be absolutely incredible. With that 93 in that system there, oh please, and against West Coast as well, so that would be pretty damn good as well. Please, please, Uze, name this man.
Yeah, it really just comes down to what happens with their. I think it's more the forward line than anything else. Like I don't think Nank's like running out of steam or anything. It's more just Hey, look, Lafau can't really win them games, so that means that Naismith rucks because Nankervis can actually play forward. Yeah, makes it tough for these teams that have come in and actually lost, your Ivan Soldos and stuff, right?
Oh, 100%.
Like Soldo in this team would be perfect. He'd just be, going to jump in straight away. So, yeah.
Right. Look at Nankervis' heat map last week.
He's a defender.
Is he really a ruckman? This looks like a key defender. This looks like a key position.
What was he the week before?
The week before. Oh, no, Larry. Larry's media. Well, there you go.
That's not too bad.
So that's normal. But yeah, he was plugging in the hole last week, playing on the smaller ground, trying to repel St Kilda's attacks. They just kept giving the ball to him. It was legit kick to kick last week. So, and his time on ground was up to 83%, 90% CBAs. That's really damn impressive. If he's playing a lot of defending, then there might be room. There might be room for potentially Naismith. But Mikelti Lefau is doing very well for them. He's playing a role, Mikelti. I love me, Mikelti Lefau. I love saying his name. It's so awesome. It's very catchy.
Callum, if you're in the chat, say, hey, I'm in the chat because I'll give you the Condon news at the moment. So if you're in the chat, just say, hey, I'm here, and I'll do a bit of a spiel on Condon at the moment. So, yeah, we'll see.
There you go.
Yes, Jack. We do have a centre bounce open league. It is, I'll see what it is. We were promoting it a lot during the season, so we'll see what happens.
We were.
Yes,
we were. View the league.
Hey, I'm currently ranked 137th.
Not too bad. Not too bad. For only 441 people, it's pretty damn good. Ranging Bonner, well done. Carrying our league a little bit. But yeah, the league code is there. It is. So yeah, you can join us. Get in there, Jack. And
633-400, Jack.
And smack us.
So Callum here is asking about Comben. Now, I think there's probably a few people in the chat who are like, Big J, Comben, what are we expecting to see from Comben? Now, this week is really tough because he's not versing nobodies. He's probably versing one of Hawkins. He probably lines up on Hawkins, let's be honest. Hawkins or Jeremy Cameron. I think Jeremy Cameron is a bit too mobile for him. But Charlie Comben is the reason why North Melbourne has not picked a tall forward for the past 3 years in the draft. We've been hoping, we've been praying, we've been waiting for this guy. It's been cool. He broke his foot or broke his leg or broke his arm or something that's really hurt him. But what you get is you get an athletic, tall, big man who can jump, who can intercept, who can play positions, who can do a lot of really good stuff. And because he's the strength of his game in the forward line. So he was a forward that this year has been made to play back. And all preseason, it was, hey, Comben, come in. You've got to watch Darcy Moore and see what Darcy Moore's like. This is the type of player that you're going to play. The big thing with Comben is that the contested mark has been fantastic. That's one of the strengths of his game. You kick the ball up, he's going to mark it. He can jump, he can do everything. It's always just his body. So next week, I think, is the week to get Comben in. But boy, oh boy, we could be getting it could be, if you don't have Comben next week, it could really hurt. Save some money. I've got a Sexton plus 40K, so I can make it happen next week. But try and do what you can, because Comben, depending on how he goes this week, obviously it's SuperCoach related and we want points going up and money and that kind of thing. But yeah, he's a very good player.
Yes, Charlie Comben get in our teams, baby. Will be really exciting. Let's see. So yeah, Owen has a fun little game going on. Predict Gorn's exact score for tonight. What do we reckon, boys? What do we reckon Gorn scores tonight? I'm going to say 28. 2,800 alone.
Is that like the first 5 minutes he gets a 28?
No, I think he's starting on a 28 already. Head start.
Head start.
In the warm-up.
I reckon Gorn comes out and does something really awkward. I reckon he's going to score a 126. And it's going to be like that weird, awkward position where, do we keep Gorn VC or do I go after someone else? That's going to end up being
Jack 86. That would be freaking ridiculous.
169.
Look, I'll live with a 169, Paul. I'll live with that.
Joe's scared of the 200 plus. That's what Joe's scared of.
There you go, SuperCoach Scout. He's in the chat, mate. If you haven't, honestly, I've shouted them out last time they were here around. Thank you for coming on and supporting the stream, Scout. 137, take it to the bank. Shit, that's not. I'll live with a 137 as a non-owner. Velo 162 times 2, 324.
It's rough.
Oh no, Ross 187. That will hurt. A 191 will probably hurt even more. Where? Don't say that. Another one, 181, 121. Michael 204. That's not what I want to hear, brother. Hopefully 204 with captaincy. So 102. Yes, I'll live with 102.
So it was funny when I think Dacos, someone had VC Dacos a couple of weeks ago when it was best 18 and he scored like he's 68. So I had put the captain on him and they're like, does Dacos's captaincy score count as like my best 18 because it was only a 68? And it's like, yep, because it's doubled. So it's really 100. So you got 100 for your captain. Suck that.
Oh, yeah, Blues fan. We might be drinking together tonight, Blues fan. We might be drinking buddies tonight while watching some NCIS Melbourne MCG edition.
And Paul, I'm most likely getting both in next week, depending on how they go this week. So yeah, either use my last boost and go someone up to like a Zach Merritt, or just get both of those two in. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, as Velo says, I reckon both of them can come in next week. I think if you're missing them, then you're, I'm sure you've got a bunch of players that you'll be happy to start to move on, and you can then sort of free up some money. You know what I mean? Like if Sanders becomes a sub, because someone's suspecting Sanders to be the sub this week.
I mean, someone said Dempsey wasn't playing as well. So,
mate, it's nothing but banter here, really.
Oh,
nothing but banter. He's got Burgess. So yes, trade Burgess. If you've got a Darcy Wilson in your midfield, swing Wilson into your forward line, and then you can get Graham. Or Burgess can, if you've got Sexton and Burgess, then both of those can become Comben. And again, you swing someone into the forward line, and then you can get Graham, who the other person will be. So I think you can still trade out your dead rookies and re-kickstart your cash gen, Paul. It's definitely not the worst situation to be in.
Yeah. Just trying to see what happens. we have to take the rookies as they come at the moment, and everyone plays at the start of the season the guys that are going to make us a bit of money. At the moment, starting to do upgrades, and there isn't a lot. We've been very, very lucky that Dimmer hates Sexton and all the other duds from Gold Coast, because he's basically said 3 players are coming in. So Joe's got 1. He's probably going to have 2 of them next week. But just the likelihood of the guys who aren't first lot of SuperCoach players, first lot of rookies at the start of the season, scoring us a lot of money is very, very, very low. This next crop, unless it's the closey who can pop out, numbers like this on a regular, you're probably making 150 plus K on them. So it's not a lot of money.
Zach Rashid, how's it going, Zach? Rowan or English for Grundy? Oh, it's the coin flip, isn't it?
See, the thing is, I wanted English this week, but I've decided to go Nick Martin and Steele instead. If I had to choose, I think English may be the better pick, but Rowan Marshall being 90K cheaper does have its merits. And looking at the way my team was going, if you go Rowan Marshall, effectively, you might even be able to get an extra primo like the week or the week after, or afford, a Zach Merritt or a Petrarca at a 650K price versus a guy who's like 550K. So that in itself might be the better option right now. I think you were saying, Joe, that Rowan over Gorn has two extra games or whatever before Rowan has his bye. So something to kind of consider there a little bit. But a lot of people said English was going to struggle with Sean Darcy coming in. So with Sam Darcy coming in, and it just hasn't. So
look, he's leaning towards Rowan for the more cash. In English, average 14 more points than Marshall last year.
If that's your Zach, if that's your thoughts, 100% get the cash. I don't think the differential is going to hurt them that much. Having Rowan Marshall over English is going to hurt that much. Rowan Marshall might end up having a bigger ceiling because he is playing a little bit more ruck time. English seems to be able to up around that 65 to 70% mark because he's sharing ruck. So maybe we'll get a bit more out of Marshall. I don't think Marshall does as much around the ground as English does, but that in itself is game by game kind of thing. So if the extra cash gets you a better premium or a premium at all, 100% make it happen.
So this is Rowan Marshall. His ruck contests 95, 83, and he shared a lot more ruck contests with Kama this last week, but he still went 147. Right. Mm-hmm. So Marshall is a great around the ground type of player. He's very similar to English, in that their around the ground stuff is really good, and he does he gets points from taking intercept marks in defense. He does really good job running back and does a lot of two-way running, as you can see. So he can pinch in the back and then he can go forward. He just plays around the ground. It is pretty similar to an English type who also does that for the Western Bulldogs. Now, English has started the season without any ceiling scores thus far, as he's been sharing the ruck with either a Rory Lobb and a Darcy. But last week, we did see a slight shift where all of a sudden English started to get a lot more ruck time, and Darcy's ruck time was split in half. Darcy only had 55% time on ground, and he kicked 3 goals. So Darcy has shown that he's got the goods in the forward line, and probably more goods than a Tim English, who can just do that work around the ground. And when we open up his heat map, you'll see it again here. So this is English's heat map. He's getting in this game, most of the disposal on the wing. It was a smaller ground. He's got in the middle, obviously, around the back. He's pushing forward. The week before that, where's he been? Again, around the ground. And Marshall's playing also around the ground. So they're two very similar type players. And so if you want to go for either of them, it's hard to go wrong. Marshall just seems to be, it's substantially cheaper. 90,000, 95,000 is a lot of money. And you look at the way Marshall ended the season last year, his last month of footy, the last 4 games, 25, 24, 23, 22. So in his last 4 games, he ended on a 150 average, Rowan Marshall. So I'm really bullish on what this guy can achieve. Last year was his first season solo rucking by himself. This year's coming into his second season. He's got a bit of support in like a Kama type. And we know Campbell's not playing. Like, seriously. Like, the last time Tom Campbell played for any... He's like Sam Naismith.
Bloody
a
North
journeyman.
Melbourne.
Yeah. Like, he's like Sam Naismith, a bit of a journeyman who's struggling to cement himself anywhere. And the last time he played AFL footy was the last round of 2022. Like, so him posing a genuine risk to Rowan Marshall, I just don't think it's really there. So I wouldn't be surprised if Rowan Marshall actually matches Tim English this season, as long as Rory Lobb or Sam Darcy continue to pinch hit with English and share. I wouldn't be surprised if Rowan Marshall actually goes toe-to-toe with him throughout the season, whilst also being 95k cheaper. He's also going to have the super run home. If we go to Rowan Marshall and we look at his run home, all these Marvel Stadium games, and we know the Saints love to play at Marvel Stadium. He doesn't leave.
He does very well at home as well.
So, yeah, I do reckon Marshall, he gets slept on a lot. Even in general football parlay and in the media, this guy is severely underrated as a ruckman. And he's been traded in by 2,800 people this week. He's gone up only 1.4%. He's still going to be a pod at sub 10%. Solo rucking against Grundy this week, who has had a pretty poor start to the season. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a nice big score at a Rowan Marshall this week, as well as being a pod, as well as being a steal, I think, at this price. So, yeah, I think I've sort of spoken it up a lot. I like Rowan Marshall, as you can tell. He's my trade in this week. If you had to pick one, I think you go for the cheaper one who could score you comparatively. Yeah, so I'd go with Rowe.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I would as well. He would be in my team if I didn't have like Steele and Martin problems with my side. He 100% would be in my team at the moment.
Rose are late. Ross Lyon's comment on being exhausted and needing help is concerning, though. Yeah, I can completely understand that line of reasoning for sure, because when the coach says it, obviously you're put on notice, right? You got to listen to what the coach says. But then he says that, and then the following week he's listed again just by himself, without him. And then you look at his time on ground, it was still 85%, even more than the week before. And you look at his CBAs, it was at 90%, even more than the. So, like,
he might have just got tired because he was just tired. Like, conditions, a lot of stuff happens.
Again, maybe look at the heat map. Why wouldn't you be tired with this heat map? He's got a big boot there.
What was his meters gained compared to the other weeks? Can we see meters gained on there or no?
Meters gained. Oh, it's a good question. I don't think so. No.
Maybe he ended up running a bit more than before.
We'd have to go to fan footy for that, I think.
Let's jump through a few more questions while we're here. Hey Vin, how you doing? It's mate, someone who we haven't seen for a long time, Joe. So very, very happy to have him back.
Welcome back, mate.
Let's go. So Grundy, Marshall, D'Ambrosio out. Closey and Howes. Yeah, I at this point I would not be doing any trades to start putting you primos behind. So don't. Yeah. Marshall to D'Ambrosio. Okay. So rereading it. Grundy to Marshall. Massimo out. How's out. Okay, I don't mind it. You're just upgrading to a time when everyone else will probably be doing something a little bit different. So yeah, it's okay. Rereading that's fine. Moving back, should you grab Marshall for Grundy? Joe made an interesting point yesterday in our video saying that Grundy, basically outside of round 0, has only averaged like a 95. Marshall's on a 115 plus already. I think it's a fair swap. Let's go. Jack Steele or Merritt. So, Trey, if you had to only pick one, I 100% would go Zach Merritt. But if you can afford both, get Steele this week because Steele is going to jump up another 30 odd K because his break even's only like a 65. So if you can do both, Steele this week, Merritt next week. But if you only had to pick one, I think Zach Merritt's the better player.
I think he can get them both, especially if Jack Steele, he's going to have 243K in the bank.
Well, there you go. So do Jack Steele now, and then you can do Merritt next week.
Yeah. I think get Jack Steele in now. He's got the Giants at Monica, and he likes to play there. From memory, it's a good matchup. I think Steele's in ripping hot form, and the last time he played them, a 135, a 140, and that was at Monica. So, because that's where he's a Canberra boy. He is a Canberra boy from Canberra, Jack Steele. So he's going to go back to his roots, and he loves to play there. He's going to have his friends and family to go watch the game. So, yeah, Jack Steele against the Giants, I think, with the extra money and the great score to come. Meanwhile, Zach Merritt is playing against the Bulldogs, who have the toughest matchup for midfielders. So I think you go with the value in Jack Steele, you hold that money, and you look to get Zach Merritt in next week.
Yep.
See you, Jack. Have a good one, mate. I might
Jack.
see you again later tonight, depending on how Gorn goes. My fellow Gorn fader. Let's do it, brothers.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. Harry.
No. Well, we've got this one first. So,
sorry,
Francis and 90K or Nick Martin?
Nick Martin.
Yeah, I think Nick Martin too. Horn Francis could end up punishing you a little bit, but Nick Martin is definitely he's looking like to be a keeper at the moment. So we'll see what happens.
Yep. Nick Martin's top 6, brother. Nick Martin just has the ball on a string with ridiculous time on ground. And the longer you're on the field, the more chances you have to get the ball. And if you're playing for the Bombers, the ball's in our defensive 50 a lot, isn't it? So, yeah. And he's taking kick-ins. He's playing on. You look at him. He's not even sitting here. He just follows the ball forward. This is exactly what I was talking about all preseason long. He's not going to just sit behind the play. He's also going to move up the ground and try and get some kicks inside forward 50. So, yeah, it's got to be Nick Martin. It's got to be Nick Martin. Marathon streams. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Davo. Yes, it is.
Always.
Gorn 300. Oh, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. I don't want to see Gorn 300. Oh, and JD is in here as well.
I saw JD in there. I'm just checking out the Zach Fisher named forward pocket. To be honest, McKercher did not look good through the middle. McKercher has to play halfback. If that means that Zach Fisher named forward pocket, potentially. I mean, he played a little bit of it at Carlton. Maybe they're kind of reverting to, hey, Zach Fisher, where can we play you? Versus let's try and play you in our best position. I think they'd rather put games into McKercher and make sure that he's doing well versus like, Zach Fisher, whatever. So I think pulling our leg a little bit, but I do think that there's an element of, hey, he might get rotated a little bit more than these other players. So we'll wait and see for the game.
Yeah, but you don't anticipate he'll actually play a bit. He
could.
Oh, he could.
He could. As I was saying, like he played forward at Carlton. Before he played halfback at Carlton, he played forward at Carlton. So that's kind of his natural position there. I think he might rotate between forward and backline. But yeah, it's a tricky one. It's a real tricky question.
Well, he ended his career at Carlton playing off half-back, which is why
Well,
you guys recruited him.
I think that might have been a, hey, we're going to pick you up. Let's organise something with Carlton so you can play halfback. Yeah. But then before that, he was named forward. So,
That's,
yeah.
That's yucky. I did not like that. Yeah.
All right.
I don't like him as a player anyway. I just don't rate him. I've never rated him.
He doesn't even have a 2024 picture. Like, come on, guys.
Even DFS doesn't rate him clearly.
Yeah. No, JD, there is an element that says he could go playing forward because he's done it before at Carlton. So we'll just see there. There you go.
Yes, Velo.
Done. Locked in.
Gorn to Gorn is your answer, Josh. No. Grundy to Gorn or Marshall boys?
Joe's anti-Gorn.
I am anti-Gorn. I want the money. I want the money, and I refuse to believe that Max Gorn at this age is going to have a career best season. I refuse to believe it. Maybe I'm being overly negative against him, but if everyone does the same thing, you're never going to get ahead. I just have to bet against him. I just have to at this point. Considering that I don't have him now already, and I've missed a lot of those big scores moving forward.
He's expensive,
and he's more expensive. So for me, I'm just gonna have to bet against him and go with this. I don't think there's too many people that have this combination of English and Marshall. I mean, Marshall's going to be in less than 8% of teams. English is in about 12% plus 1.2, so 13%. So on average, 13 plus 7.4. You know what I mean? Like, it's a pretty potty combination that don't have buys at this stage. So I'm just looking to go against the crowd on this.
If you're picking both, if you're picking one or the other, the fact that Marshall plays 2 more games than Gorn before Marshall has his bye is in itself a reason why. You're going to have to dodge the bye rounds a little bit. I think Rowan and English may have the same bye.
They share a bye, yes.
So you dodge that a little bit. But in the short term, Rowan Marshall is such a better pick. Like, missing out on 2 games is going to give you more points. Like, Rowan Marshall not missing out on 2 games is going to give you more points in the long run than getting Gorn in. It's just going to happen.
Unless he scores 200 this week, and then we're crying.
Yeah, but Rowan Marshall scores like a 150 and then a 130, and then Gorn scores like a 110 one week, and then you slowly start to bite off that 200. Like, it's not the end of the world.
Roma Tomato, please, Roma. I pray to the saints for you to do a very good. Michael, thanks for coming on, brother. Hope you had a great time.
Michael.
Thank you so much. And then we got Paul is in the same boat as me. He started English and Grundy, but he's going to Gorn.
Yeah.
Good luck. Good luck, Paulie. Hopefully Roma does better. Just use the boost joke. Get Gorn. No, I'm not going to do it. I want to save my boosts for more important players like Zach Merritt and Petrarca. You got to look at the big picture, boys. What's going on with Stewart, you reckon? Decline due to age? Or can we expect to see him bounce back to 115?
I think he bounces back. If you actually watched the game last week, he was there. He was about to take those marks. He would have got 100 plus pretty easily. He just dropped the mark. So maybe the ball was slippery. Maybe he got pushed. You know what happened. I don't think it's cause for concern at the moment. If he really starts to fall off further, then I understand. But like, he was decent 2 weeks ago. So it was more dropped marks and things like that, I think, than anything else.
Yeah, because you look at when he's at his best, he's taken a lot of marks, right? 10, 9, 6, 9, 8, 9, 11, 7, 13, 14. He hasn't been taking as many. Now, obviously, Adelaide essentially were butlers for him in that game. They couldn't hit him more even if they tried. And he still scored a 134.
Yeah.
Now, he scored a 99 in a comfortable win against the Hawks. And yes, I agree. 77. he did drop a few marks, which obviously, and when you drop a mark, you lose points for that. And he only got the 20 disposals. Now, is it because someone like a Max Holmes is getting involved in the play and being involved in transition more? Perhaps. But I still think, though, overall, this man is going to be a top 6 defender. For those who don't own him, we're really happy about this slow start to the year because it means we're going to get him for cheaper.
Yeah.
But he's still going really well. He's still got the disposal efficiency. He's still around the mark for the marks and the tackles. I honestly think it's just the drop marks, really. He's going to clean himself up. He just doesn't look like he's going full steam ahead yet. Maybe the extra year in the system means it's taking him a little bit longer to warm up that engine. But when it's time to go, he'll go. He really will.
I don't even think it's that. It's as harsh as what you're saying, Joe. I think it's purely like, cool. If Whitfield didn't spend 20 minutes on the bench due to injury in the second quarter, he would have scored over 100. If Tom Stewart didn't drop those marks that were pretty gettable, he would have scored over 100. Like, I think it comes down to that. If you look at all the defender scoring last week as well, I think overall majority of the defenders didn't score that great. So
correct.
Yeah, some of the big ones. I think Sicily wasn't over 100. Whitfield wasn't, things like that. So reading too much into it, I think.
Potentially. Only 13 minutes till the Gorm Masterclass.
There's 10 minutes until the game, so I'm not sure how much longer we're going to be on.
Well, we're going to call it quits about now. Just these last final comments. Theo, you got us right at the end. Trades are Nick Martin, McGovern, and Clahisi. Don't trade out Nick Dacos, Theo. Come on, bro.
No, I think that's a silly move. You're going to spend 2 trades to get Dacos in and out of your side and potentially some, finagling of money as well. So, yeah, you can do better.
Josh, I wouldn't use a boost to get in Clahisi this week. Yes. There's no need for it.
Yeah. There's probably 3 trades you may need to make next week, which puts us at a bit of a weird position because Comben could end up being a keeper, like not a keeper, but a must-have next week if he comes out and does another 100. And then there's Graham and then Clahisi as well. So maybe you've got to do something next week. That's why a lot of us are jumping on one of those players this week. Just something to watch out for there a little bit. I wouldn't be using a boost just to get this guy. Like, you can downgrade and then use the money from the boost somewhere else, and then that's fine. But don't boost just to do it. And that's the problem with Marty Hall, and that's half the problem as well with people trading out Howes at the moment, is there's no benefit. You're spending a trade, you're spending a boost to go from a 140k player to a 100k player. Like, the money differential just isn't there.
Correct.
I got rid of Hall because I upgraded, not because I downgraded to another player. So, yeah.
Stop it, Ross. You know what? Blues fan, I might take you up on that offer, bro. I'm going to start watching I'm a Celebrity. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. It's going to be crazy. I have thought about it, Paulie. I have. But I want to give Massimo another chance. He was stuck on the bench last week, as I explained in the videos one of those videos last night. I forgot which one. But Mass had to sit out the last 20 odd minutes of the game because there was the limitation, the rotations. Yes, they almost did a North Melbourne in over rotating, and so
you can't do a North Melbourne.
Yes, so I think Mass is 63 while spending over 20 minutes on the bench in what was a really close game. If he stayed out there as he normally would have, he would have scored a lot better than a 63. So I'm hoping that he can give us a nice bounce back this week and then kickstart that cash gen. Okay. So I think that will call us quits for tonight before the game starts. Massive thank you to everybody for coming on. If you're still in here, 74 of you, hit that like button for the algorithm. Subscribe if you're new. Would greatly appreciate the growth of the channel, and hit that notification bell so that you can join us from the start. on all of our streams. That you can be notified of all of our videos because we absolutely love the banter and the engagement is just off the charts, guys. Much love.
100%. Guys, if you check out our schedule as well, so we normally leave the footy for you guys over the weekend. We haven't been recording and uploading as much. Sunday night, our team reviews will come out. Monday live stream as well. So stay tuned for both of those. But have a fantastic weekend. Make sure you enjoy some footy, eat lots of food, be happy. You know, SuperCoach is a game. It's meant to have fun as well. So, yeah.
Yes. Everyone's going to have some great fun at my expense.
Go live stream rage after this. If we'll see what happens.
All right. Let me know in the comments after this Maltesing, and I'll try and concoct it for you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining. Here at the Centre Bounce, we do the hard work so that you guys don't have to. Bye for now.